Waterside.
That came here to mark, enter inside people's houses to mark. My own room, children's room, my toilet, my kitchen, all these things went off from their market. Development is good. At least it don't inflict hardship in people more.
Initially, as we heard, this wasn't the original plan on how to go about it. It was at the Lechi Waterside that they demolished during that Amechi administration. And the meters they want to take is outrageous. They said it's 9.5 meters, which is about 30 feet. So you see that the house that's like 50 feet, and we are talking about that. The whole house is gone.
Waterside roads, I would think it's something that would go through the waterfront, come up the new one. Every change will affect the populace. The only thing is, government's job is to make sure that everybody gets some form of palliative.
While the River State government is yet to speak on this, recall that the notice of the meeting was signed by estate surveyors and valuers, Emma Douglas and Company. In another development, 2 months after the oil spill in Etio community, Elemeleku government area of River State, the National Oil Spill Detection and Response Agency, NOSDRA, is yet to carry out a joint investigation visit, GIV exercise. A member of the community, Gift Kukwa, tells correspondent Sobi Ruwari that the community has written to both the agency and the NNPCL on this, but neither has responded.
Why we wrote to them is because since this happened, since this split happened till now, neither have not come, neither NNPC to come. The only thing NNPC did was to split to the community to do the blockage of the split. So they have not come to say, okay, they want to do the cleanup or to discuss about the damage that has already taken place. Because our people are suffering. There's no way we can go to fetch water anymore because of the split. Those farmers, they cannot be able to, they don't have access to their farm any longer because of the split have killed their crops, and up to now NNPC have done nothing about it.
Well, the ATO community has written to the National and State Houses of Assembly on this. Moving on, some Port Harcourt residents have joined to condemn the killing of Alafuro Peterside by a policeman. They told our correspondent that such police officers are not worthy of being part of the force. Now, they called on the authorities to expedite action on the matter to serve as a deterrent to others.
Not fair from the way the policeman acted. Let the policeman that thought the man receive his own penalty, government authority to get to act and to stop police to harass human beings, members that doesn't do anything.
They have arrested the policeman, they should kill him so that other people will take point of correction. They are not security to kill innocent people. They are security to secure the Nigerian. The robbers has left and they went and killed the family man. What do they want the woman and her children to do? The son of that man, by seeing a policeman with his two naked to kill his father.
This police should tell person. This one not be the first one who here say police to some of them are doing all those things. They are not ready to serve the country. But if to say government to stop them.
Well, recall that the spokesperson of the River State Police Command, Grace Iringe Koko, says the mobile policeman who shot dead Mr. Alafuro Peterside at a bar near the Stadium Road axis in Port Harcourt and other policemen have been transferred to the State Criminal Investigation Department. SP Grace Iringe Koko, however, did not give details of the detained policemen. But still on security matters, a Port Harcourt resident, Chijioke Enya, has narrated how he escaped being killed after he was robbed by a commercial driver and his conductor. Mr. Enya tells our correspondent that he was robbed close to the location junction after he boarded a minibus heading to Ajib Junction. But the victim of the robbery incident explained items stolen from him by the robbers.
So they collected everything I was with, the physical cash in my pocket. I have my 3 ATMs, my 2 phones, my Bluetooth on my neck. They also collected my wristwatch. They collected everything. Immediately they go to Chinda by Ada George. There's a place that is somehow dark, like Chinda by where a dustbin truck do park or normally park. And that pushed me down and zoom off. I ran to Ada George police station there. I made a complaint and since we registered the case.
He, however, advised Port Harcourt residents to be alert when boarding any commercial vehicle at night.
My advice to the general public is we have to be watchful this time around because I believe there's serious hunger in the land. These boys are desperate. They are ready to kill. They are ready to do anything just to make sure they achieve their aims. So going out, you have to be watchful. You have to also be guided. You look before you go in. any vehicle, and nobody should tell me shift, let me go in. You suspect every communication in the vehicle, you suspect every move, and all the same, apply wisdom.
Elsewhere, Arewa Youth Consultative Forum has asked security agencies to immediately clear a ministerial nominee and former governor of Kaduna State, Nasir El-Rufai. President of the forum, Yerima Shetima, in a statement, warned that the patience of youths must not be tested further with the refusal to confirm the nomination of El-Rufai for appointment as Minister of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. He said Mr. El-Rufai is among the only 3 confirmations were deferred. An African affairs analyst, Achike Chude, said the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS, as well as other entities, do not have the authority to meddle in Niger's decision to adopt military rule. Mr. Achike, while speaking on Nigerian Money Crossfire today, said ECOWAS' desire to intervene in the coup is in order to prevent its effects from influencing neighboring African nations. But he also says Nigerians have expressed strong support for the current regime.
The citizens are happy to the state of things in Niger. No country, no organization has the right to impinge on the sovereignty of the people of Niger. The government does not imply that you have a democracy. The matter has gotten out of hand, and other countries in West Africa are being threatened and now do something much more aggressively to dissuade it to continue. ECOWAS has been involved in all of the coups that have taken place, trying to bring those countries back to democracy.
Well, Mr. Achike today called on African leaders to foster a continent capable of harnessing its abundant natural resources. Meanwhile, presidential spokesperson Ajuri Ngelale says President Bola Tinubu has not ruled out military intervention. Well, his comment comes ahead of a West African Coalition's Crisis Summit in Abuja on Thursday. Still to come, resident doctors suspend planned protest, say strike continues. Stay tuned.
The Institutes of
The planned protest by the Nigerian Association of Resident Doctors, NARD, did not hold today as scheduled. The suspension of the planned protest followed a meeting between NARD executive and that of the Senate, led by Senate President Godswill Akpabio. President of NARD at the University of Port Harcourt Teaching Hospital, UPTH, Onwa Ibe Author, spoke to correspondent Martha Okere on this.
We suspended the protest as a result of some intervention by some government functionaries and from those in negotiations and the meetings. The government side asked for more time with our law-abiding citizens. From that meeting, in fact, they actually said that some of the demands that we are making are things that are genuine and germane, that we wouldn't take so much time, so we have to give them the benefit of the doubt.
Our correspondent reports that the industrial action by the association, however, continues. The doctors are demanding the implementation of the one-for-one replacement policy for healthcare workers. The Medical and Dental Council of Nigeria to discontinue the downgrading of the membership certificate issued by the West African Postgraduate Medical and Surgical Colleges, the immediate payment of all salary arrears, the implementation of the consolidated medical salary structure, a new hazard allowance, and the domestication of the Medical Residency Training Act, among others. The organized labor has rejected the chief of staff to the president, Femi Gbajabiamila, as the head of the federal government team that will negotiate with the labor unions on subsidy removal palliatives. The national president of Nigeria Labour Congress, Joe Ajero, made this known when the leadership of the labor unions visited the Senate.
Who had agreed for a wage award, which is not new in Nigerian parlance. Even early this year, when the federal government paid 40% award to some of their employees. So we are conscious of that and we have agreed on wage award. And up to this moment, the Committee on Wage Award is yet to sit.
But TUC President Festus Osifo also spoke on this.
You are the political class. You are asking us to keep sacrificing, but we have not seen the palpable sacrifice from both the executive, the legislature, and the judiciary.
But Senate President Godswill Akpabio responded to the Labour leaders.
To approach the executive arm of government in partnership with you to see how we can work together to reduce the sufferings of Nigerians.
Recall that the Senate, in a resolution 2 weeks ago, agreed to meet with the labor unions on the subsidy removal palliative. In business, the Presidential Committee on Tax Policy and Fiscal Reforms says the Nigeria Customs Service and 62 other ministries, departments and agencies of the federal government should not collect revenue directly. The chairman of the committee, Taiwo Oyedele, in an interview on China's television, said the Federal Inland Revenue Service, FIRS, is best suited to collect revenue for the MDAs. He said Nigeria's revenue collection from taxes is one of the lowest in the world, but the cost of collection is high. And in entertainment, Nigerian comedian and skit maker Josh Alfred, popularly known as Josh Too Funny, finally had the opportunity to perform on America's Got Talent. Josh Too Funny, who prides himself as the fastest reader in the world, took the act to the American show, where he was given the opportunity to perform 3 times under different names.
How can I not be fine? I'm in the America's Got Talent.
What is your name?
My name is Josh Alfred.
Where are you from?
I'm from Nigeria.
And what is your talent?
I do something very different, something you've never seen. A speed reader.
I did something very different.
In a twinkle of an eye, I can read so many pages.
Do you think you can win $1 million?
When I was leaving Nigeria, I told them that I was not going to leave the United States if I don't win.
Okay, Josh.
Shall we begin? Read my lips. No.
And in sports, West Ham United have agreed deals for Manchester United's Harry Maguire and Southampton's James Ward-Prowse. Well, each deal is thought to be worth in the region of £30 million.
And now we'll bring you news from around the world.
41 migrants have died in a shipwreck off the Italian island of Lampedusa. A group of 4 people who survived the disaster told rescuers that they were on a boat that had set off from Fax in Tunisia and sank on its way to Italy. The 4 survivors, originally from the Ivory Coast and Guinea, reached Lampedusa today. Well, more than 1,800 people have lost their lives so far this year in the crossing. Well, that's news, but before we go, another look at the highlights of the major stories. On the news this afternoon, you heard that landlords in Diobu Port Harcourt are alleging that they were exempted from the assessment meeting on the demolition for the Ring Road project. Nosdra is still silent 2 months after oil spill in Eteo, Eleme in Rivers State. And resident doctors have suspended their planned protest, but they say their strike continues. An analyst, Achike Chude, says ECOWAS and others do not have the authority to meddle in Niger's decision to adopt military aid will stop direct reelection. Now, on the foreign scene, you heard that 41 migrants have died in a shipwreck off Italy. The news was edited by Martha Okerenkem. Light rain showers in Port Harcourt this afternoon. Remember for listening, and do stay tuned. Coming up next is The Sunny Side.